The number 10 isn't just a number in football, it's a symbol. It's the ultimate. It's perfection. It's the number that defines magic. It's the number every kid dreams of wearing at a young age. It's iconic. But now, it's about to get even bigger. 2 new number 10s in not just the biggest clubs, but the biggest rivalry in mainstream football. It's the present versus the future. It's the Ninja Turtle versus Ryan. It's Kylian Mbappé versus Lamine Yamal.
El balón a Lamine Yamal, la juega para Dani Olmo, que venía cruzando la frontal del área. Se va Lamine buscando el remate desde ahí. ¡Hola! ¡Espectacular!
Last summer, Kylian Mbappé finally made the big move.
1, 2, 3, ¡a la Madrid!
He'd arrived at his dream club. He'd taken the big step to fulfilling his legacy. He was finally playing for the club he'd watched Ronaldo play all those years back. But when he arrived, things were different. With the number 9 on his back, it felt odd. It was kind of like Ronaldo when he first arrived at the club. And just like Ronaldo, the following season after his debut, it was time for a shirt change. Only this time, Mbappé decided to flip the script. Honestly, while the number 10 is important at Real Madrid, it's always felt like the number 7 was the number at the club. Guys like Cristiano Ronaldo, Raúl, and Raymond Kopa. But even with that, the number 10 still meant something to the club too. The number they kept for the creative players in the team. It's what Luka Modric wore, what James Rodriguez wore when he came to the club in 2014, what Mesut Ozil wore. See the trend? It was for the creative geniuses in the team. But maybe that's why Mbappé took it, because to him, it's the chance to become his own at arguably the biggest club in the world. I mean, let's face it. No matter what he does, Mbappé is never beating Ronaldo's legacy with the number 7 jersey. But the point is, with the number 10, no player at Real Madrid has truly owned that number. Ozil had it for a few years before he left. James came and found his spark in bits. Modric used the number 19 to become a household name before switching to the 10. If Mbappé can be half of what we expect him to be at the club in that jersey, it's the chance for him to become the greatest number 10 in Los Blancos' history, and you wouldn't put it past him. The guy is a machine. It's mental thinking of what he did last season and how the opinions were so different. For context, he wasn't just Real Madrid's top scorer, he broke the record for the most debut goals in a season at the club. He scored 42 goals in 55 matches for Madrid last season. 31 in La Liga to win both the Pichichi and the European Golden Shoe. Mbappé's a beast. The problem was that becoming a beast for Madrid last season came at a cost.
Could Kylian Mbappé be making Real Madrid worse? Because at the moment, he seems to be causing more problems than he's solving.
He became the scapegoat when in truth it was the whole team. Carlo Ancelotti had a Bugatti in his ranks and didn't know how to use it. But this season, under Xabi Alonso, it's already looking like Mbappé is going to cook. First official game with the new number 10 on his back. First official goal. But it's more than the goal. On a night where Vinicius Jr. was giving away possession with awful back-pass attempts, Mbappé was the main man. He was almost toying with that Osasuna defense. The best part is he stuck to his role. He was the mobile 9 that moved everywhere across the front line, and that's how he won the penalty he converted. Even with the crazy numbers he pulled off last season, this new campaign feels like a fresh start for Mbappé. It's the chance to fully become the main star on the team. He's left the 7 for Vinicius, and with the 10 on his back, it's the KM10 era at Real Madrid. In case anyone needs reminding of what he's like with the 10, throw it back to 2018. That's when he really announced himself on the global stage. He was electric at the World Cup. He scored 4 goals, completed the most dribbles for France in the competition, and was the most fouled player on the team. Oh, and yeah, he scored in the final and won the Young Player of the Tournament award too. The point is, Mbappé is that guy. He always has been. Last season was a blip. This is the season where he's out to become that beast at Real Madrid like the world expects. But there's one problem. Over in Catalonia, the new era has begun. Lamine Yamal, Barcelona's new number 10. It's the continuation of the legacy. The number 10 to Barcelona means everything. It's the number Ronaldinho wore that puts smiles on the faces of fans at the Nou Camp with his magic. After Dinho left, it became Messi's number, and he made it his own. Messi became immortal with that shirt. 672 goals for Barcelona. So many moments of magic when he left in 2021, it always felt like whoever would take up the jersey had an impossible job. Trying to become half the player of the greatest 5'7" in football's history. But that's where Lamine Yamal is different. He's not trying to become the next Messi. He wants to become the first Lamine Yamal. Honestly, with the number 19, it felt like Yamal could have had it for a few more years and turned it into his trademark. But the timing with him taking the number 10 just adds up. He didn't rush it. He waited until he turned 18. Waited until his grandma got the chance to be with him on the jersey change. Heck, he could have even gotten at the start of last season, but he said no out of respect for his buddy Ansu Fati. He might have bigger balls than his age, but the kid knows what he's doing. He's the right guy, and now is the right time. Lamine Yamal right now is the most exciting player in football, and that says a lot. He was 17 last season, and the stuff he pulled off wasn't just insane, it was ridiculous. He had 43 goal contributions in 55 games for Barça, and this only scratches the surface. Lamine Yamal was the guy at the club. Rafinha and Lewandowski scored more goals, but Yamal brought that X factor. He was the guy teams started doubling down on in games, sometimes even triple marking just to close him down. You know he's that good when at 17 he's got coaches detailing entire team structures just to get tight to him. The craziest part? It never worked. Golazo after golazo. When Yamal wasn't scoring goals or creating magic, he was dribbling for fun. He didn't hold back. Get close to him, he'd embarrass you. Try to run. So long as you were in his path, he'd end you. The stats back him up too. Yamal's 145 dribbles last season weren't just the most in La Liga, they were the most in Europe's top 5 leagues. For context, in Europe's top 5 leagues, the dude in second place was Jeremy Doku. He had 90. Lamine Yamal was miles clear. He's already got that effect.
No, he's a very special talent, and you know, for me, I feel like definitely last season is one of the leading players in the world, if not the best in the world. So yeah, it's exciting. You know, everybody in sports wants to play with the best, and there's a lot of talent in this squad.
It's insane how much riding Marcus Rashford had to do with Yamal's name just to get to the club. But the fact is, it's not just Rashford. Coaches...
Let's see what happens, and I think we are really happy that he's playing with us, and he's on this level at the moment with 17 years. It's unbelievable.
Pundits...
Crazy what he's done. He's broken all those records. He's the youngest. Lamine Yamal, aka the youngest. Superstar.
Even his opponents.
He's 17. No, like it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. They have a player who have a career, and inshallah he stay healthy, because you never wish bad to people.
They all agree on the same thing. Lamine Yamal isn't normal. He isn't like anything this generation has ever seen. It's like Neymar's flair with Messi's left foot, with Robben's R2s, and Cristiano Ronaldo's mentality. The most unexpected foursome you'd ever witness. Yamal, just like Mbappé, is already a big game player. At 17, he's an outside favourite for the Ballon d'Or. It's not normal to be that good at his age. He's already bagged 5 goal contributions in the 7 games he's faced against Barca's arch-rivals Real Madrid. In the Champions League last season, against some of Europe's toughest teams, Yamal was the difference. What he did against Inter Milan in that first leg already had him getting GOAT comparisons. He tore Federico Di Marco into shreds. He had Alessandro Bastoni asking for help every time he was with the ball. He topped it off with what's becoming a trademark move. Cut inside to his left, far post, effortlessly. At 17, Yamal has nothing to prove. From Real Madrid to Inter Milan, Dortmund, PSG, if we're going 2 seasons back, Atletico Madrid, he's come up against some of the world's best defenses and made them look ordinary. And now, with the 10 on his back, he's about to enter an era that's too scary to think of Mbappé versus Yamal. The rivalry with the numbers is new, but these two go back a bit. The first time they met was in the Champions League quarter-finals of the 2023-24 season. Particularly in that second leg, Yamal was on smoke. He had Nuno Mendes struggling to breathe and single-handedly forced PSG into the mistake for the first goal. But after Ronald Araujo's red card, the game turned. Xavi's mistake. He took off Lamine Yamal, and from that point on, PSG didn't look back. Mbappé stole the show with 2 goals and the win in the first meeting until they met again, this time at the Euros, the semi-finals. Just before the game, Adrien Rabiot dropped that infamous statement.
It can be quite difficult to deal with a semi-final in a big tournament, but I think it will be up to us to put pressure on him, but also to show.
He called out Lamine Yamal, said he'd have to do even more than he'd already done to beat France. Calling out a 16-year-old is crazy, but what's even crazier is how Yamal responded. He wasn't fazed, dropped that story on IG to show he was in full game mode and ended Rabiot and France in the first half. Speak now. Yamal and Spain won. The score count with Mbappé was 1-1. Everything changed last season. It felt like Mbappé would be in a league of his own coming into the first El Clásico of the season. But where he was getting caught offside 8 times, Lamine Yamal and his Barça teammates gave the Bernabeu half that number of reasons to shut up. Barça didn't just win, 4-0 Yamal made a statement. He scored a banger with his weaker foot. On the same night, he became the youngest player to score in El Clásico. The score count, 2-1. Mbappé needed that comeback, and just months later, he got his chance. The Spanish Super Cup final. This time, Mbappé had learned his lessons from that first meeting. He was off the mark from the start. In the end, it was like poking the bear. Yamal and his Barça team shrugged it off. All he needed was the ball in the right area. Scratch that. All he needed was the ball. Instead of waiting for it to come, Yamal became the magic spark for Barça. His goal brought them back into the game, and from there, Barça took off. They scored 4 more to win it 5-2. Yamal, another statement performance. He was turning El Clásico into a training session with his buddies. The next meeting was in the Copa del Rey final. Mbappé had the chance again to salvage something with Madrid. They had to win this one. He didn't start, but came off the bench and once again looked like he'd be the difference. Scored his free kick to put Madrid in front, but Yamal had other ideas. See, he'd already assisted Pedri for the opener, and from that right wing, he picked out another teammate. Ferran Torres did the damage to make it 2-2. Jules Koundé scored the winner in extra time. Yamal didn't score, but his 2 assists were solid contributions to the game. Mbappé had one last attempt in 2024-25, the final El Clásico of the season at the Louis Companies. If Madrid lost that game, Barça would effectively seal the title. Mbappé, he bagged a hat-trick. In any other game, this would have been enough, but the difference is that on that day, Barça also scored 3 goals. In fact, that scored 4, And a Lamine Yamal blitz curler was one of them. Add this to Yamal scoring twice in the Nations League semi-finals versus France at the end of the season, and the score count now is ridiculous, which brings us back to the present day. Kylian Mbappé is already off the mark with his new number, the same way days earlier Lamine Yamal got off the mark as well. He capped off an opening day performance with this goal after assisting Rafinha for the opener. This rivalry, it's going to be crazy this season. So what do you think? Is the Mbappé versus Lamine Yamal rivalry forced? Or are they just the two best players in the world and it was bound to happen at some point? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button to Matchday Moments for more videos like this.